Blue 32! Blue 32! Set! Ha!
Hello and welcome to the Great Matters Weekly Football Wrap-Up and Preview Show. We're going to take time to discuss what caught our attention from Week 4 and look forward to what's coming up in Week 5. All the matchups, players to watch, our lock bet of the week. And as always, please make sure to note that our comments regarding gambling are to be considered fun and just us talking. It is not advice. If you do have a gambling problem, please seek help. However, as always, we'd like to remind you that we are not the place to get
Facts
it at all. With that, let's get it, boys. Andre, give us a rundown of what we got.
This past week was serious.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of bad football. It was some unexpectedly good games out of bad teams. And a whole wrap. So we got this. It was real. I think in our pre-production meeting we was talking about this week was very precise.
Yeah.
On the games. Good games was good games, and the bad ones were awful.
Absolutely.
So if y'all follow us online, I was making baseball references during the Monday Night Football game because that game was trash. But we'll circle back to that. Paul, go ahead and lead us off, man. What kind of stood out to you? What was the storyline that stood out this week?
I would have to say how bad them Fins got smacked around.
Oh, did they?
Right, you went and put a 50 burger in somebody, and somebody just came right back and put 30 up in y'all. Like, wow. Like, yeah, I don't, and the jabs that it seemed like Tua was talking to a few people in his own locker room.
Yeah,
when he was saying some people needed.
He was subtweeting. He was definitely subtweeting live.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all peeped that, but that, and I was dead right about the Bears and the Broncos. I said both of those teams are so bad, it's gonna be probably the most entertaining game of the weekend.
It was the freshman high school game.
If y'all did take my advice on that over, I told y'all that
we both. We all said take the over because nobody can stop anything.
They blew that out the water.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also went according to form, Paul. If you think about how it went exactly like the first 3 weeks with the totals, which is the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
They play one half, they don't play the next, or don't play the first play. Like the Bears gave it up exactly true to form. Yeah. Like there was nothing mysterious about that game.
Facts.
It literally, I could have almost like done the play calling, like in the Madden coaching mode. Like I felt like I could have coached it and just let it play, and it would have worked out exactly how I imagined it in my head.
So what about you, Billy? What was your storyline?
My storyline is twofold. And I'm going to go back to my preseason predictions because one of the things we were talking about in pre-production is how we're getting to that point, week 5 and week 6. We're getting to the point now. There's really only a few teams that you kind of don't know what to make of them yet. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, you kind of are what your record says you are, with a couple of caveats here and there. Frankly, most of them in the AFC North. You just don't know exactly.
You got,
but Tampa, I'll say this,
You got Tampa too.
That's what I was about to say.
We not really.
Those are my two teams.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Regardless of the outcome, Baker Mayfield is vindicating me.
I take all the bullets.
No. Listen. I'm jumping.
Oh, now he your guy now? Yeah, I'm the shaking bait guy.
I'm going to take it from here.
Wow.
We're almost out of the exchange zone. Thank you for the baton. I'll take it from here.
Wow.
And here's the thing about it. Because one thing, Paul, that we've talked about this for years, okay? It's the same thing that we talked about with Jameis. It's the same thing in Baker Mayfield. Now, at some point, people have to
Jared
own
Goff in there.
same thing. We literally, these are the kind. Paul and I have literally been back and forth on Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston. And my point is this. I am glad. I have no expectation for the Bucs are not going to the NFC Championship. They're not going to be a real contender if they even make any. Even if they did make the playoffs, they're not going to make any real
They
noise.
will lose the game they host.
Okay, exactly, like Tampa did the year before. But my point is this: I feel vindicated in that. What bothers me is the way he was dismissed. Like, people just have to own the fact they just don't like Baker. But stop acting like he's not a professional starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Like,
that was my whole point.
Okay. Exchange, man. I got the baton. Get out the way. I got this. I got you, Paul. I got you. Yes, take your lap. Take your victory lap. Take your bow. But that's the thing. So Baker has shown to be, whenever you have a professional, competent, I put him right in line with guys like, if you recall, like the Trent Dilfers of the world. Trent Dilfer was a competent professional, like starting caliber quarterback. And people acted like
now he's a bully.
But okay,
yeah.
Hey, there's a reason why I picked that, right? I could have went a lot of ways. I went there.
Right.
Now, that's the first game that really stands out. The other one, as far as vindication for me and a loss, I originally said that I felt like it was going to be the Commanders that were going to kind of be the scary team in the NFC this year.
You both did.
Yeah. And here's my thing about that game against the Eagles. Anytime you have division games, right. So like the Eagles playing the Cowboys playing the Giants playing the I was about to say it again, the Commanders. Like, anytime you have those types of things, those division games, you can't really get carried away with it, whether it's somebody lost, 35-10 or it went 24-23. Like, right. Because of division game, they literally,
that next Cowboys-Giants game is going to be tight.
Okay. But what I have seen so far from the Commanders is that they're not just playing with that kind of scrappy, like, we're trying to be in this. They were actually toe-to-toe with arguably the best team in the NFL. That you can make an argument that the Eagles, because everybody's making a big deal, and this is kind of part B of my second one, which is now that we've established that the Bucs and the Commanders aren't just like playing around, they can play a little bit. People really do need, and I'm just going to say this, okay? I'm giving Paul his flowers on Baker because it's time people put some respect on his name. Somebody just needs to go ahead and put some respect on the Eagles. People have to remember that there's no style points in the NFL. There's no style point. I don't want to hear about, these are professional teams. They get smacked in the mouth. They get injured. They have to get treatment nonstop. Like, we're at that time of season. And so when you see the Eagles, I hear people talk about, well, the Eagles just don't really look that dominant. What do you mean they don't look that dominant? They're beating people. They're running away from people.
Yeah, every football team grows throughout the year, whether it's a 6U team or the daggone Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to grow as the season goes.
And here's the thing that was and I forget who I heard say it, because I was paying a little bit of attention, listening to people, some of the talking heads on like the radio and things like that while I'm driving around. And I forget who said it. It's no shade or nothing. I just literally can't remember who said it. But they said, here's the thing about the Eagles. All the Eagles have to do is be clicking when they get to the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah.
All they got to do is, here's the thing. We can pencil it in right now. They're not going to have less than 12 wins. So they're going. They're going to win the division.
They play cold weather football.
And the key to it, and because here's what we saw last year. All jokes aside, when we look at last year, what the Eagles did, they were just annihilating people up till about week 12, and then they had the hiccup, and then Hurts got he sat out a couple of games and whatever,
right.
And then he comes back, he kind of got his rhythm again, and they look great in the Super Bowl. There's nothing against it, but my point is, they had that lull. Whereas it's almost like they got smart and they figured it out. And I understand. I still think the 49ers look like a juggernaut. I mean, they look amazing. But if they were to play right now, I probably would, if I had to. First of all, I wouldn't bet that game. But if I had to, I'd probably pick the Eagles because the Eagles have figured it out. We don't need to prove anything. We don't need to put up 45 points on you in October. Let's just go ahead and just. But and my last one, as far as what stood out to me, the Eagles being dominant again, but also, and you touched on it, Paul, man, the Buffalo Bills said, look here, you thought you were just gonna walk them here and win the AFC East? You thought you was gonna
come into Florham Park and just run up and down the field, huh?
And my 5 heartbeats voice, my Eddie Kane.
Weather football.
You want my spot flash? You want my spot flash? Well, you can't get it. You ain't got it. Listen, the way they kick the Dolphins.
I don't believe there's no team in the NFL, or any team, I should say, use my proper grammar. I don't believe there's a team in the NFL that needs the bye and home field more than Miami.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
And just the way they play. They can't go up to Buffalo or say the Bengals pull it around and come up to the Natty or Cleveland or Baltimore and run that in January, Nashville, or Kansas City and do that in January. That's not going to happen.
You looking at Derrick Henry in January.
Cold weather tackle football always wins at the end of the day.
God.
And the only two teams playing. To add to what you're saying, I believe Kansas City is the most dangerous team right now because they're winning ugly without the offense really clicking, and they're playing defense and getting stops and turnovers. The offense is only going to get better as they
literally
grow.
They're winning with their hand behind their back just to see if they can do it. Like, they're literally just like, we ain't even going to use our left hand.
Because they're not in the big market and because they're the champs, we kind of like, we're not even really looking at them. Yeah. We looking at Tay-Tay. Right. We used to Tay-Tay up in the box. You know what I'm saying? That's what we own.
Yep.
We ain't even paying attention to how they winning. Like, Mahomes is not playing good ball. Kelsey is still limping around.
And you know that he will.
The running backs, though, they are running the ball.
Yeah.
Hard.
What about you, Dre?
So I got a couple things that stood out from this week. One, I'm not going to reiterate the fact that the Bills smacked the Dolphins the way they did. That was just
delicious, dude. Didn't it just feel? That just felt good.
Yeah, it did, because there was a lot of people
dropped the controller games and you on each end of it back to back. Like, get up off the sticks.
Right.
But the main ones that stuck out, obviously that one, but just lost it. Spicy Jared Goff. I know it was Thursday, but I like Jared Goff with the swagger. They called him out saying he was the poor man's Matt Ryan, and Jared threw some touchdown passes like, ain't nobody's poor nothing. And called out on television like, yo, I like Spicy Jared Goff. I like that. And that team is really, they gonna keep getting better. Like, I'm talking about like, you just gonna look up and you're gonna look like, man, they dropping 45 on everybody.
Imagine if they played outside in Detroit.
Ooh, yeah.
They look like a cold weather team with Montgomery, the Mount Healthy boy, running that thing.
Yeah, shout out.
Ooh, wee.
And then the other storylines I have really are the negative ones, the bad teams. The Patriots are a complete train wreck right now. The Steelers, I gave Matt Canada.
Well,
I gave Matt Canada all this
bad teams really bad.
Yeah, but they used to not be really bad. Like they used to be able to have defense to make it where it was like, okay, this was ugly, but it was 17 to
9 or 8.
Something like that. Like it was like the offense was struggling, but like the entire unit, like as a team, it was like they don't look like they're like functional. Like as a you see Hoodie talking to his son, they both shrugging like shit. I don't know what you got. You to go. What? Tell me what you see. And the offense is running an offense that's not for Mac Jones, and his feet tell you it's not for him. Because he's not standing and throwing a football. He is a straight penguin. He has happy feet. He out there tap dancing and
seeing ghosts
and just trying to let it go. And it's the same thing I used to get on Carson Palmer about towards the end of his career. But Carson Palmer had a hose. He could still make throws. Like Mac Jones ain't got
the ball would sell on Carson.
Yeah,
when he wouldn't get his feet under.
When he wouldn't get that back foot.
But it still had some oomph behind it. Mac, you ain't got no oomph. You ain't even got the you to make the oomph. You just got.
I was about to say Carson Palmer still probably has a liver arm than Mac. Like
Mac is like a slightly more talented Chad Pennington.
Yes. I'll totally agree because I played against Chad. So yeah, I can see that.
But Chad was kind of brilliant though. Like Chad had it up here.
Chad was cold, but actually, he wasn't very talented.
Matt has it up there. Mac has it up there too. They just like the offense itself is not what they're supposed to be. Like their offensive line is terrible.
I think
Chad also had a bunch of injuries though. That's his excuse.
No, actually,
because before he had his shoulder problems, he could throw the hell out of the ball. Ask Randy.
Yes.
I think what was messing me up is I think Chad was just a nicer person. Like Mac just
he was awesome. Yeah, Mr. Kick him in the ding ding. I'm not necessarily a fan of Mac Jones like as a human. Chad Pennington was awesome. Like they beat the brakes off us in the Motor City Bowl, and he came out and shook everybody's hand and talked. He's like a really good dude. For real. But between that, I gave Matt Canada all the props in the world for the offense, and then we
can't have nice things.
Man, he came and pissed on my like the Steelers, just as a conglomerate, as a record staff and a crew, they look bad.
Tomlin said he got them in pads this week. I don't know how that's gonna help in week 5, but
he came out after the game and was like, nope, never again.
Because he saw the same thing I did. Like, that's why I was telling people, I put my money on it. Because Tomlin, as a veteran, with Minkah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt and a rookie quarterback, it's supposed to be something that happens. And even if I know that, Pickett is, still young in his development too. But when you look at the history of the two teams, one of them looked like they just had the top 5 pick, and the other one looked like a veteran squad. And Houston is the one that looks more veteran than the Steelers the way they plan. So those was my storylines, man. I was disappointed in a couple, but we'll get to that. So what was kind of your game, that you kind of had to clutch the pearls on? What was I didn't see that coming. Go ahead, Billy. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I'll tell you the game that it wasn't. I'll tell you the game that it wasn't. The Falcons at Jaguars.
That thing was jittery. Was it my TV or was it not? I felt like I was gonna get a seizure or something. Like
I even tried the little Toy Story. Like
the Toy Story when they started having the glitches. I had my daughters. They was ready to watch, and then it started glitching and stuff like that. And they lost them. I was like, I was about to be like, Andre, I know you got Woody's number.
Like, make it. You know what I'm saying?
You
Get it
lost your
right.
family. The very people you were trying to reach, you lost them. You can't have glitches when you're dealing with 5-year-olds, my guy. Like,
Boy,
my daughter
They got that much attention spent. So it
Ooh,
wasn't that
squirrel.
game.
right?
It definitely wasn't that one.
Jeez.
Now, clutching pearls, I'm going to go with. There's two of them. Okay. The first one is for personal reasons. Man, I live and die by the Bengals.
It's hurting you to say
We
this.
both leaning into him like this. You see?
Yes. I live and die by the Bengals. Here's the thing, just from a purely football standpoint, I understand exactly what's happening. And everybody keeps saying, well, there's there's real answers. They're just not easy ones. And you got to stop letting the players make the decisions. You're not going to convince, and I hate to admit that a lot of these talking heads were right. There's
About
no
what?
good way you're going to tell me
They said the Bengals was going to win the Super Bowl. What you mean they was
no,
right?
first of all, I ain't got to yet. I'm not saying
Okay. My bad. I'm jumping the
that.
gun. I'll chill.
There is no good way you can convince me, A, that the Bengals couldn't have gone 1-3 with Browning at quarterback. There's no way you're going to tell me that they couldn't be 1-3 right now. That if not 2-2. Secondly, you're also not going to convince me if he had and I'm talking about Joe Burrow, if he had 6 weeks off almost, you're not going to tell me that having 10 weeks off, like Jamar Chase told you, you're not going to tell me he wouldn't be completely healed. And then the only thing we're looking at is being rusty, not rusty, and can't protect himself. I'm going to come back to the Bengals in a minute, but because that's only the first one. The second one, as far as clutching pearls,
yeah, I thought you was going to get to the talking heads.
This is it. Well, listen, we're officially talking heads at this point now. I mean, like,
I was one of them that said Joe need to sit down and they need to save him from himself. But
hey, man, look.
We all said it.
Yeah. I mean, begrudgingly, I was like, I kind of wish he would stay out, but I think money played a part in that.
You know what's happening with Joe. I hate to cut you off. Hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
Joe saw that boy Rodgers go out there with a calf and then get on that tractor. He also signed that contract. So he got the two people on his shoulder.
1 foot in, 1 foot out instead of absolutely. That right there. Now, because we can come back to, I don't want to spend too much time, but I just feel like it lacks integrity for me to overlook the elephant in the room when everybody know why I'm hurt. Okay. That's number one. The biggest thing, I'm gonna just say this. I'll tell you what really had me clutching my pearls, man, since you framed it that way. The Jets got robbed.
Yeah.
End of discussion. And that does not, and I'm not in any way trying to say the Jets are better than the Chiefs or what, and none of that.
That was
Jets got robbed.
Again, it's the same. As an Eagles fan, I'm gonna tell you that they didn't call that the entire game. By letter of law, sure.
That was wrong, man.
It was holding. Was it holding?
No.
I'm not going.
It was literally like it.
It's textbook hold. He was literally grabbing his shirt.
It is no. Here's what I'm saying. It's like what they say, you can call holding on every play.
Absolutely. If you ain't calling the entire game,
we could literally zoom in from tackle to tackle, whatever side of the formation the tight ends on, whatever. You can find holding on every, and it's no different than that play was. That was the most incidental of all incidentals, and it doesn't get called. The player kept going through his route. All I'm saying is consistency matters.
It does.
And even if you would, let's say we go with your,
so y'all mad that they called it. Y'all not mad. Y'all not mad at the dude for actually holding.
And here's why I'm mad. Here's why I'm mad.
I'm mad at the ref for not being consistent.
Here's why I'm mad. the reason why I'm mad is not because I care about it. It has no bearing on the season. I don't care about either team. It's not like that. I'm upset because this is the same stuff that people used to go through with Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots. And they would always talk about the Patriots always get the call. Right? My thing is this. It actually discredits and takes away not only from the game, but from how excellent the Chiefs are, because the Chiefs don't look like what we traditionally expect them to look like. I don't believe that they just, couldn't win that game. There was still plenty of time. My point is, when refs get involved, all the media attention is on New York because of Aaron Rodgers and Wilson getting crushed. They actually had a good game. They were actually playing it. It was a tight game. It ruined it for me. And as far as I'm concerned, no, I'm not saying that they would have won. I'm only saying they got robbed. Because you don't call that at that point.
If you ain't called it all game, you don't call it.
You don't call it.
And you also don't wait for the ball to hit the ground, take 2 more steps, and then decide to throw your flag.
Thank you.
The whole thing.
Because there were 2 plays, actually. It wasn't just that hold, but it was also, wasn't it?
My man was getting held.
Did he hold?
They didn't call it, right?
They didn't call it. On Patrick Mahomes' 35-yard run, there was a dude holding number 11.
You talking about the left tackle when he had dude locked up?
Yeah.
Yes. That's holding. You can't. No,
you literally can't. Holding. You literally cannot.
If you're inside the armpits, you can.
No, you can't. They don't call it as much, but my man tried to turn and he didn't let go.
You get outside the shoulders.
No. My man tried to turn and pull away, and he couldn't. That's when the flag is supposed to come out.
Because he was obstructing his movement.
Yeah, he put a steering wheel in that boy.
Yeah, hey, I'm just
saying. Fine. He's strong. He country strong. Okay, he's country strong. But it was if the man can't move because you're holding on to him, you're obstructing his movement. That is textbook.
You can't sit there and call one not holding and the other one hold. Like no, both of them was hold.
Who was the boy who got caught last night and then got slammed and then dude body surfed on him? Y'all know what I'm talking?
Yeah, that was hella disrespectful.
That man has a family.
Right. And they watching right now. Right?
He got home. His kid did that to him when they was playing on the floor. His kids went out there and just
because everything else, in my opinion, kind of went according to plan what I expected the game to look like. Those are the only 2 that really was like, ooh. Them hurt.
Got it. What about you, Paul? What was yours? There were some shockers here. So
you was clutching your pearls.
I'll be honest. I'll say young Samuel Sante coming up with that pick at the end of the Chargers game that they tried to lose.
Oh my God, they tried to lose it again.
I mean, they were literally trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Why does he still have
they were sitting there playing tug of war.
Oh,
why does he still have a job?
The Chargers games are a hell of a ride.
And then hold up. The thing that had me tripping, it was so many like what is going on moments in those 3 downs. Because when he picked the ball off, I'm like, okay, go score. He falls at the 11-yard line. And it's like, if I'm Herbert, right. I want out of there.
They are the 2 games that they won despite their coach. And we talking about all the coaches. It took 6 sacks by Khalil Mack and them to overcome
say it. They had to overcome their head coach
in order just to beat the Raiders. The Raiders show.
That was hard to watch. And back to what the Bengals, man. They a bad football team, man. Yeah. Like all facets, they are just a bad team.
It's called can't get right.
I mean,
Can't
they
get right.
calling bad plays. They're not even executing the bad call plays that are coming into the huddle. I mean,
Everybody
like,
looks like they're uncertain.
They
That's
don't
a
look like it.
dangerous way to live in football.
Well, outside of uncertain, they don't look like they believe right now.
But I think it's they don't believe because nothing up until this week, in 4 weeks of actual like regular season football, nothing has worked.
But Bengals are
They
always,
had one good half
the
against
team
the
has
Rams on
always
Monday night.
been, but the team has always been, we started 0-2, we can do this, we got this. Like,
Yeah, man.
they don't have any belief in what's going on in this building right now.
And this is actually piggybacking on what when Paul was like getting up in my junk earlier about the Bengals. And he was just like, here's honestly, the only saving grace that the Bengals have is the fact that nobody's running away in the NFC North. Because honestly, the team that was running away was the Browns, and then all of a sudden Watson got hurt. I think Watson in that game against the Ravens, it looks totally different. That's my opinion. But the other thing is, in the AFC overall, I think we overvalued the top heaviness of the AFC. There's going to be some the wild card is not out of it for the Bengals.
But with all seasons, health is always going to be an issue,
right?
You know,
and the fact is, the Bengals really only have one player, not all across the roster, up and down the line, and in the backfield. They really only got one player that has a health problem right now. And part of it is because they ain't played no football in 4 weeks.
I mean, like at the end of the day, what's the difference between the Jets and the Bengals right now?
Our quarterback might be able to get healthy and come back this year, whereas their quarterback, see you in, next August.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit back on the.
I think the Jets can have a better. Can even with Zach, I think the Jets are better than the Bengals right now.
Probably, but my point is, it's one person,
and the Bengals have their whole huddle intact.
No, listen.
Everybody's in the huddle though.
All right, here's the deal. Everybody knows that if Joe Burrow is right, the team looks different. But the fact is, he's not right. There is no getting Zach Wilson right. That's literally the difference.
So we're finding out that Joe's not a pocket passer, is what you're saying.
No, we're finding out that you can't play effective quarterback. I'll say it like this. This seems to be the theme for me today. Joe Burrow just got that contract, highest paid contract in the history of the NFL. That's fine and good. Guess what? He is getting the same smoke that Baker Mayfield got.
No, he's not.
3 years ago?
No, he's not.
I'm saying the way people treated Baker Mayfield, my point is Baker Mayfield was playing hurt.
Right.
He didn't get credit for that.
He didn't get the benefit of the doubt. Everybody's like, he's out there, so what?
What I'm saying is he's getting the same criticism. The only difference is people are saying, no, Joe, you should sit out and you should go ahead and count your money. Baker, he didn't have the contract.
Right.
But they're really in the exact same spot. They look, the way they're missing throws, it looks like Baker Mayfield that year. When
Baker had a broken shoulder. This guy has a calf. And what I'm trying to break down, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And I'm asking this because we've had a bunch of great quarterbacks have lower leg injuries and still be successful. And what I'm saying is Joe, or is he not a pocket passer?
Yeah, I think he's a pocket passer. I don't think he's a statue. He's not Peyton Manning.
Can he throw from the pocket?
Yeah, he can throw. I mean, I think he's got quite a resume that would indicate that yes, he can. My only thing is, I personally think that we just have to be honest about the fact that dude isn't right, no matter how you slice it. That's the difference between them and the Jets. But anyway, that's enough about that. I'm tired of talking about the Bengals, Paul. Let's move on.
Me too.
And this ain't really got to do with the Bengals itself, but just a little bit of pushback is I think the Ravens are in position to run away with the division.
No, they're in position. I'm only
Yeah.
saying that what I've seen. I mean, let's face it. They beat the Bengals by 3, and then they, my point is, it ain't like they've just played the teams they played so far and they've just destroyed them.
Yeah, but it's same much to go with Philly. A win is a win.
Okay, but they're not Philly. Don't do that. We're not about to do. No, they're not Philly. Philly is dominant.
I'm just saying a win is a win. It's hard to win in the NFL.
Yeah, period.
I'm only saying I'm saying the Eagles have looked dominant in the way that the Ravens have not, even though the records would indicate, oh, okay. I mean, let's face it, the Ravens got an L that they had no business having.
Correct.
Okay, so they're not the same.
All I'm saying is a win is a win. If Lamar gets 7 more wins, they got 10. They are getting to. I'm saying they are positioning themselves to the point where they may run away with the North because
there have been so many divisional games early. The tiebreakers are being set.
I get that.
That's all he's saying, bro.
They're ahead of the division. I didn't say. I'm not arguing with them being the best team right now in the division. What I'm saying is, I was only saying for the Bengals, the only saving grace is the Bengals are not chasing the 49ers and the Eagles. That's all I'm saying. They're not chasing the Chiefs. They're not chasing somebody who's impossible to catch.
Well, the 7th spot is impossible to catch right now. That's what they're chasing, right?
Yeah. All right.
Because they're not chasing the division. They're chasing the wild card.
I guess because I'm saying if I know this is still the biggest if that always exists with the Ravens, but if they remain healthy, they're not losing a bunch of football
healthy
games.
Now.
If Lamar remains healthy.
That's my point.
If Lamar remains healthy.
If Lamar remains healthy, fine. I'm still saying the same thing. If Lamar remains healthy, he's going to at least win 8 to 9 more football games this year.
Okay.
So then that makes the Bengals out of the contention.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So you're saying watching Lamar this Bengals team
season, he's gonna win 11 or 12 games. That's guaranteed.
No, I'm not even talking about the Bengals. I'm talking about they have to play Cleveland. I'm not convinced that the Ravens are head and shoulders better than Cleveland right now.
Not defensively.
I'm saying healthy. Everybody healthy.
Cleveland's got a monster defense. You're right. If Cleveland's healthy, and Rub and Tug
and Tomlin don't care nothing about your record. That's all I'm saying. It's not a guarantee that you're just gonna run off.
But the Ravens played them this week. I'm just saying that they putting themselves in a position to be further ahead than where there's a separation.
Yeah, absolutely. The record's set, but they lost to the Colts. Let's just call it.
But again, but all their wins are in the division.
That's all. Me and Paul saying the same thing.
Okay.
So outside of that, the Clutch the Pros moment for me actually didn't take place in the NFL. It actually took place in college. The fact that Colorado balled and hung in there. I know that they ended up still losing. I get it, but I'm saying from a standpoint of there's a clear talent discrepancy between Colorado and USC and the Oregons right now. I'm just seeing that the plan is coming together for Colorado. Like, it's one of those things, like, if they can get the O-line and get those recruits to come in for the O-line and build some more depth, they could be doing something special in the Big 10 or Big 12 next year. One, because the competition will definitely be easier. Right now, the Pac-12 they got at least 4 NFL-ready quarterbacks right now, and two more that are on the border of, hey, this could be a starter. They all together in that, and they just showed that they willing to fight. I'm just, after the ass kicking they took last week, I was shocked that when USC went up, that Colorado was able to come back.
I agree with your point. The only thing is, I was not shocked at all that they were able to hang with USC.
Well, no, I wouldn't have been shocked had it been tight the entire game. They were in a crossroads where it was like, oh, this can turn into a blowout. And they came out of halftime, they were down 35-7.
I see that. The thing is, too, though, to your point, though, I will agree. I'll be honest with you. I think the Pac-12 can make an argument that top to bottom, they're the best
They
Power
are the best.
Five
Oh, they
conference
absolutely
in
are the best
college.
conference.
They don't
Yeah.
have the, but
They
don't have the best team.
They're going out
They're-
in style.
they're the conference for the last few years that have. They don't have like an elite team, but they have
their
the most
floor
good
is
teams.
higher. Their floor is higher.
Yes, their
The
bad
floor,
teams, their
the bad
middle
teams are bad teams,
are
but
better than everybody else's
Yes.
middle teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Stanford will come in and
No,
mop
not Stanford.
Northwestern.
Stanford is
Stanford would have.
trash.
No, I'm
before-
saying the bottom. They will mop Northwestern. They will mop up like
No,
the bottom
not
of
Stanford. Maybe
Stanford's
Cal.
bad this year.
Stanford is really,
bad.
really
They
awful,
real bad.
bro.
Are they that bad?
Yeah,
Bad?
yeah.
I think I knew they were
Stanford
the
is
bottom.
bad.
But
They are. They're just a
Stanford and
bunch of,
Arizona just
Stanford is a bunch of smart people out there right now. Like a
Yeah.
bunch of just smart people.
They really
They
got
can
some
hoop.
intramural cats and was
They
like,
still
they can hoop.
Run.
Yeah, they
they
still
not,
hooping,
they
but-
not ain't playing football since Shaw left.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever
No,
since
they got-
David
they
Shaw
got a lot
stepped
of
down,
scientists
it's
out
been
there.
over. Yeah,
A lot of scientists, a lot of lawyers and stuff
Nobel
like
Prize winners,
that.
all kind of thing like that.
But,
Yeah, Pac-12 has about 8 QBs that are going to play at least 3 or 4 years in the league.
yeah.
Not all next year coming up, but like over the course of the next 3 years, yeah. They're loaded, man.
So that was my one kind of, oh, okay, well they got some fight in them. Okay. And then the other thing that kind of shocked me that we've talked about all the NFL stuff. It kind of shocked me with the Notre Dame, like kind of the flow and how Duke. I'll be honest, I thought Duke was fool's gold. Like I didn't think they had a shot, and they
But
literally
QB, it was good till they hurt the QB.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really good, like, tight football game, and a solid running play that wasn't available the entire game. Finally broke through, but I had to give a tip of the cap to Duke. They shocked me on that one because I definitely thought I was thinking Notre Dame by like 35.
That would have wrecked their season to lose back-to-back weeks just like that. That would have completely.
Well, it's a miracle what you can do with 11 people on the field.
Well, then here's the thing. Wait a minute. No.
Imagine that.
But here's the thing.
Imagine. I wonder how that kid feels. Nobody, nobody outed his name.
We don't know.
You know what?
Right.
Because if he played for Ohio State or Alabama, we'd know his name. He'd have a picture of his
we didn't know it before the game was
puppy.
Over.
Oh, right.
He didn't need a witness protection just to get out of the locker room and onto the bus.
He would have had to. Email his assignments, and he couldn't have went to class. He just had to stay in the facility.
Remote class.
Yeah.
The whole week. But that's the thing. The voters still, even though Ohio State isn't Ohio State of previous years, the good news is because that literally, you're right, that would have wrecked their season. You would have still gotten the pass for losing Ohio State. You can't lose to Duke.
You can't lose to Duke.
Not at all.
I don't care if Duke's supposed to be good. You can't lose to Duke.
No, you can't.
Not in football.
All right.
So moving on to the next thing, which is one of my favorite parts, just because I like individualism, and celebrating those that need their flowers. So Paul, who you got for top ballers that caught your eye this past week?
Young fella in Seattle, the DB.
Oh, Witherspoon. Yeah.
What he grade out at a 95? Highest graded player of the week.
And a 97-yard return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Got him a tud on the board.
Oh, and shout out to my man 2-6, the cornerback for Dallas, Bland. Next man up.
You've been hard on that secondary in Dallas.
I told y'all that.
We'll let you pass it back right now. We'll see what it looks like when they play San Fran. But go ahead. Yeah,
fair enough. I said the guy behind him will step up, and he might even make them a little better because he's going to play his position and not gamble as much as Diggs.
Well, right now I can't say nothing. I'm gonna have to eat it right now because he got him a pick 6 on the board too. So I can't say
he should have had 3. He should have had not 3 pick 6s, but he should have had 3 picks. He had 2 picks and dropped 1. Yeah.
Yeah, Mac was serving it up on a platter for him, especially trying to throw back across the field 2 times in the same drive, 4 plays apart. Come on,
right? Like he Pat Mahomes or some daggone body.
like you got the wrong arm for that, sir.
Right. Yeah.
you needed the deluxe package.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You need to upgrade that thing. Go on, spend
Yeah,
an extra $9.99. Oh man.
What about you, Billy? Who your top ballers?
Well.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Oh, and Omarion Miller.
Oh, you
yeah.
wrong for that.
Oh, Marion Miller. Shout out to the young fella coming off cold and showing his hotel to America.
Yeah.
That right there, because I was actually hoping I could steal that one since I just brought it up with Colorado. I'm gonna keep riding the same thing I've been saying. Again, it's a personal week for me. CJ Stroud ain't got no picks after 4 games.
Yes.
Okay. That's not just like, oh, okay, rookie record. That's hard for anybody to do. And he's taking all the snaps. He's not. It ain't like they're just dinking and dunking. He's making easy reads. Like he's actually slinging the ball a little bit. They had a really good win as far as
I like that kid.
And he is. And here's the thing: it's like don't just do it. Don't just do it for me. Do it for all Buckeye Nation. Because Buckeye Nation been catching a lot of flack over the years, talking about some, well, they don't really produce any professional court. Do your thing, Stroud. Please do your thing.
Yes.
So that's my second week in a row, man. Do your thing. Get off, man. Go and get yours off, man.
I like what he said about he likes to win, so the fans can talk they trash.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
I wear my Buckeye. They had about it. I wore my Buckeye shirt proud.
That's refreshing.
Yeah.
That is refreshing to have somebody who's actually out there still aware that, you know what, I used to be in the stands.
Yep. Running around.
I used to have a shirt on.
Yeah.
A little hoodie or jersey.
Yep.
I want to be able to talk my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was cold.
What you got out there?
So mine ain't even a player.
Okay.
Nah. You gonna Brandon Staley again?
No, because we doing top ballers. Brandon Staley go on a different list.
Ooh.
I gotta give somebody respect that I'll be honest, I didn't think I was ever gonna have to do this.
Okay.
But because I talked so funky about him, I gotta tip my cap to him.
Okay.
Even though I think he stole our ideas from the Gray Matters, Nathaniel Hackett.
Okay.
He listened to the game plan that me and Paul was arguing out last week, and did all the things that we said that he wasn't doing to give Zach Wilson a chance.
It's like from start to finish, though.
Yeah.
Like literally. He was like, what did Paul say that right before that? Let's do that.
And I gotta give him some credit though. Like he listened. He listened to us, and he came out with a functional game plan to at least give them a shot to win a football game.
I still think you should run him more design QB runs.
Yeah.
When you run the RPO, if you want the backs to get loose, you got to run the kid more. He's got legs.
He got backs to get loose too.
He's got legs, and he can get loose. And if you make them have to sit and honor him, them backs can change the score.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the time of possession, that clock.
And then you got play action to 17.
Yep.
And then the other person that hadn't been on the list, but since again, I'm recorrected people that I talk funky about. Right. But this time it ain't the coach. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the player.
Okay.
Justin Fields.
Okay.
He played a solid football game, and actually a really good football game, other than the fumble that he had, where he tried to get rid of it. It just dude was up on him when he came out of the fake.
It wasn't the best decision, but he played a really good game.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But he looked like he was that looks like the quarterback that finished last year.
He meant
and that's all. That was the benchmark that we were judging him off of. If we got that, and then we improve from there. So I got to give him some props because he played well. It was his first 300-yard passing game in the NFL, which I didn't realize he had never thrown for 300.
To
but
who?
he did.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Especially when
He
you
don't even have a
it.
tight end.
Yeah,
Every young quarterback needs a tight end.
he ain't got a running back either. Like
He had Montgomery.
He had Montgomery, but that's a different kind of running back though.
Yeah,
That's in the John Riggins mold of we gonna ground and pound. He ain't had. They tried to get him
John Riggins.
They tried to give him Claypool, and we had already we had the Gray Matters has had this conversation about what Claypool is and what Claypool ain't. And again,
he is very talented, very athletic, very gifted, but he is not a great teammate.
No, not even a good representative of your organization. It's actually so bad that the Bears. Now we've talked about the lack of talent on the Bears.
Right.
The Bears, knowing how athletic and how talented he is, said, "Hey, player, you go ahead and stay home. We cool. We'll
right after the game.
We'll figure it out."
No, like he didn't play last game.
Right.
They didn't take him to Denver. They made him stay.
No.
So I didn't hear about because I figured he was a healthy scratch. And then
it was a healthy scratch.
That's what I'm saying.
Of a healthy scratch.
That's what I'm saying. He was a healthy scratch, and then like they didn't even. It wasn't even like final score. It was just like, yeah, he gone.
Yeah, you're gonna get paid. Gone. Just stay home. They're gonna do him like Keyshawn.
They told him they literally said, "Stay home. We're gonna play. What's his name?
Yeah. And it's the best.
Come here. What's your name? No, like literally, what's his name? Like that's they chose.
What we said.
What's his name? Over Claypool.
We were watching last year when Pickett got the job, and we all said they got to get him out of Pittsburgh.
Yes,
because he's gonna ruin Pickett.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and it's funny you say that.
And now they got to get him out of shot because he's ruining Justin.
But what strikes me again, that's the best Justin Fields has looked all season.
It is without him is his first game where he was really good.
Like, you know what? DJ Moore actually looked better without him too.
Yeah, yes.
And usually when you're a wideout, speaking as a former wideout, when you on the other side of somebody, you hope that dude is good, because especially if he's better than you. Guess what you got? Single coverage.
That's exactly right. What I was gonna say is, and they
got better without him.
Right. So DJ Moore basically had a better day with the coverage tilted toward him than he did. Think about that. That's because that's what happened, right?
Wow. Oh my God. That's called cancer. What I was gonna say is, and this is just totally an aside, but I was thinking to myself, like, what does that say about you? You're not even good enough to be causing this much? Like, I was thinking about Antonio Brown. They tolerated his foolishness in Pittsburgh because he's a whole Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
But you ain't good enough to be, dude. Like, just,
he gonna find himself.
Keep the main thing.
He gonna be in the XFL real soon. Coming to a screen near you in the XFL.
He might not catch hold there.
Well, yeah, The Rock might put hands on him.
Well, not even that. He ain't gonna play for that kind of money.
No.
Hey, him and Josh Gordon.
Team out there?
Him and Josh Gordon can start their own league.
And I know we got to move on, but my question is there a team that actually wants Claypool?
Every team wants Claypool.
No,
it's just that Claypool don't want to play. And once they figure that out, he got to get out the building.
So they talked about. So this is going to be the weird thing. The Eagles are talking about at least kicking the tires, but the thing is, you don't have to. Right? You don't. But you don't have to. Only way I'm doing it is if he gets cut. I'm not. Well, I'm not making a trade for him because I'm not giving the Bears back what they gave up to get him. No, you don't want him, so
he'll be on the street before.
But because I got Jalen Hurts in my locker room, I'll bring him in. Because I know if Jalen Hurts, you ain't gonna. What you gonna do? You gonna mouth off to Hurts?
Yeah, he's inoculated.
That's what you gonna do.
Fletcher Cox will tap him on the shoulder. Promise you.
One of them on the defensive line and tap him on the shoulder.
I think they would tap him on the shoulder like, bro, you don't want to do that. Like, I don't think he want to get in the phone booth with Jalen Hurts.
No, he don't. But I'm just saying it ain't even gonna get that far. As soon as he open up his mouth,
Right. He don't want to smell that man cologne.
Nah,
Fletcher Cox is going to tap him on the shoulder and, hey,
Leave that alone.
go on, dog. And what you gonna do? Stand up to Fletcher Cox? Like, I mean, there's
Like, I
we
think there's
talking
a
a lot of
couple-
there's a lot of business decisions he would have to make.
Yeah. I think
In
there's a
30
couple
seconds
locker
of
rooms
that.
he could. I think there's a couple locker rooms that could maybe.
But that's my
fix him.
question. Yeah, what locker room could actually withstand his chaos?
I think Cincinnati would be a locker room that could help him
I don't.
because they don't
Next
need
one.
him.
Next one. Yeah, you're right. That
They
don't
don't
need
need that. The key part is they don't need him, but it's just he don't. That's
he don't
I mean,
do
I'm,
nothing to help them right now.
Because they got strong personalities in his room, in his group.
yeah.
I think
I'll say it like this: if T.
he wouldn't be
Higgins-
the alpha in his group. He's the alpha in Chicago until DJ Moore got there.
I think T. Higgins
He
hurt
was
his
the
ribs or
alpha
something
in the
like that, wasn't
Pittsburgh
it?
group too.
Yeah, T. Higgins got
He hurt his ribs. If he were, let's say T. Higgins was going to be out for an extended period of time or something,
Right.
maybe. But beyond that, like he adds nothing. What are some other things? Because no.
Like I said, it would have to be where you got a real strong captain in there.
Like 49ers.
49ers would be a place I
49ers.
think that could tolerate him or they
What
or
about
not.
Seattle?
No. Gino ain't strong
Not
enough.
after what
Gino ain't strong enough.
Yeah,
not after what happened to Gino.
It'll be a large shouting match. It ain't gonna be no hands thrown. It'll just be
Yeah,
a bunch
Gino
of
ain't well, and
shouting.
Gino ain't built like that.
Yeah,
Nah.
I was gonna say
That's just not his thing.
Maybe the Commanders. Could the Commanders use him?
They could use him.
I think
Ron Rivera would.
Ron,
Rivera would. I don't know. He dealt with Steve Smith.
And
He's
but,
got-
but Bieniemy hurt his feelings. So.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you know what?
Oh, I forgot all about that.
You know what?
Oh,
He giving
man.
us some. He got some
He
real
could-
light skinned
yeah.
energy vibes. Bieniemy ain't going for that.
Nah. Maybe Hoodie. Maybe Hoodie.
Hoodie needs him.
yeah,
Hoodie
each
absolutely
other.
needs him. Yeah,
that's true.
It would
And
be one of those things where it would be
Yeah.
they would need each other, maybe.
yeah, okay.
So,
Maybe
yeah.
up in Buffalo as well. Because he ain't gonna come up in there in Diggs's
No.
receiver room acting crazy.
No, Diggs said I'm the only crazy to
Right.
go up in here. So
Right. And my crazy is about winning.
right.
It ain't
I
about
actually want the
fashion
ball,
week.
Right. Yeah, that's messed up.
Oh man. All right. Well, we found him a couple spots. I hope you're listening. You know, go ahead and pack your bags. You're ready for some places.
Mhm.
You're gonna tour a
Stay in
couple
shape.
places before you get to
Hit
settle
the
in.
treadmill.
But again, don't run up on the wrong person.
No.
You ain't built for that.
Mm-mm.
Don't wrong locker room for that. So let's move on. There's some big games coming up though. I like this week.
Pivotal
the
week,
games that are
man.
coming
This is
up.
an important week.
This is a very important week. So what Paul, what games you looking forward to this week?
Couple of interesting games. I'm looking forward to the Keep That Same Energy Bowl with the Jets and the Broncos.
If they don't fight to start off the game, it ain't real.
Oh, God.
It's got to be
definitely looking
real.
forward to
Make
the
it
Keep That
real.
Same Energy
Off
Bowl.
top.
I hope they got the camera on Nathaniel Hackett
I hope they mic'd
the
up.
whole time. Like, I hope he walk around the crowd like, where's Sean Payton at?
Boy, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my. That yeah.
Oh,
Keep That Same Energy Bowl.
yeah, that's
Sponsored by
looking
GoDaddy.
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
All
Let's
right.
see here. What else we got here? Well, you got Jacksonville and Buffalo. I think that's gonna be a pivotal game for both.
It's more
The
pivotal
London
for
part
Jacksonville.
messes everything up.
Because Buffalo still has at least been rolling. Jacksonville has been very underwhelming so far this
Mhm.
year, especially Sunshine has been definitely underwhelming so
Thing
far.
is, they're the team that's played the most games overseas in
Mhm.
London.
Mhm.
So it's like practically
Well,
a home game for them.
Between them and the Bengals, they're the reasons we don't have the blackout rule.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was Jacksonville and Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So, and speaking of the Bengals, they out there in Arizona.
Mm.
That and you know what? I don't know I gotta watch the game. Like I gotta watch every snap of that game because I actually don't know what's gonna happen.
And you know what's funny, Paul? That's actually why I'm not in my head. I'm like, I wish I could say with any level,
like this is a whole get right game.
That this is gonna help him get straight. No,
because Dobbs don't want to just lay over and bust it open.
But I was gonna say the only faith I got in the Bengals on this one is Lou not getting worked over by
he ain't gonna just let them explode on him in the second.
Yeah, I'm putting my faith in Lou on this one. I totally get what you're saying, Paul. Like 100% get what you're saying. It's gonna be more interesting than it should. Right. I'm just saying that Lou, I'm my tilt is towards Lou trying to confuse Dobbs. I mean, I know it's hard because he's a straight rocket genius, but
you'll enjoy this about that game. You know what stands out about that game for me as I was looking through the schedule earlier, and I wanted to make sure I got it right to see if it changed. If you go to like NFL.com or ESPN or one of them, look at the schedule, and it'll tell you how much tickets are.
Mm-hmm.
Lowest ticket on the board all season so far.
$19.
You can $18. You can get a nosebleed ticket to that game for $18. Bring the whole family out for $100. Drink as much as you want because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need a cold
stadium is super nice too.
They might even I've been there. They might even let you call a couple plays.
Let
you warm Joe up. You go down there and warm him up.
We say we gonna let you pet our Bengal tiger.
Right. Right. You can tape up Chase. Tape Chase's ankles.
Oh man. Chase ain't gonna let you tape. Chase mad, right?
He mad.
And
I don't think Chase is as mad as they tried to make it out.
No, he's mad.
Because they put the quote, right? And then they show like the actual bite so you could get context. Like he wasn't like angry or he was chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Was, but I still think, but as a competitor, like he mad on the inside. He just
he karate man. Yeah,
he karate man.
No, man, he bruised. He bleeding on the inside for real.
Yeah.
So what you looking forward to, Billy?
Okay, so here I'm gonna make this real nice and sweet. The game I'm actually low key looking forward to seeing. There's two of them. I kind of want to see the Tennessee Indianapolis game. Okay. In a division game, I don't believe either of those teams are going to really do nothing in playoff time, but I kind of want to see so I can see if one of the other team is legit. Since Jacksonville really isn't giving me much, I want to see which one of those teams, because I want, historically, I'm going to believe in Vrabel to be, he going to fight, but I don't know. Because the Bengals, that was no real indication of what Tennessee can do. Okay. As far as money-wise, I'm going to make this real easy. And as soon as you see this, because you're going to get this on the 4th. This game is on the 5th. Run out, take your life savings, and put it on Washington at home for Thursday night. It'll be a really good weekend for you. You'll get all your money on Friday.
Wow.
So just go ahead.
You can hit homecoming on Friday with a fresh new fit. Thanks to the Commanders.
Okay, right. Thank you. And then my last one.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, my last one is, and this is purely for entertainment value. I want the Dallas Cowboys to back up all that bark with a real bite and actually make Brock Purdy what y'all say he is. Okay? Everybody wants to act like the system there in San Francisco makes it so you can just put a quarterback in, and as long as they're competent and can get me 20 yards in the air, I can put anybody in quarterback in San Francisco. Everybody's talking about this vaunted Cowboys defense. Oh, that was just a letdown game with the car. Okay. Prime time. You're used to this. You're used to playing under the lights. Go expose Brock Purdy if he's really that basic. I call that the basic bowl because I know Dak is basic.
Well, if the Cowboys don't score, if the Dallas defense doesn't score 2 touchdowns, they don't have a chance.
So do it.
Because Dak can't score 2 touchdowns.
No, not in San Francisco for sure.
No.
You had a shot in Jerry World. You ain't getting 2 touchdowns.
My gambling lock though for the week is the Dolphins over the Giants. They giving up 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andre, look at Andre Birdmanishly.
The Giants are terrible, though.
And they in Miami.
Oh, it's gonna be hot.
It's a 1 o'clock game.
Oh man, and Tua mad too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, that's my gambling bet for
Okay.
the week.
Man,
got
so
that.
we got go ahead and get your money early on Thursday, and then take that and double down on Miami.
Mm-hmm. You
Smacking.
can put a little extra in the collection plate for Rev.
Yeah, you right about that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I encourage. I approve that message. Go ahead and pass that plate back around. All right.
So obviously, I'm looking forward to the Cowboys San Fran game,
Yeah,
mainly
we are.
because I want to see San Fran smack the Cowboys. As a Eagles fan,
Again.
That's always great. But also because I'm trying to hold out hope that both of us will be undefeated by the time San Fran plays in Philly in December. Like I'm wishing
You want style points. Steve.
I definitely want style points for sure.
See how we do.
So for that one, I'm looking forward to that one. Quietly, I'm looking forward to the Texans versus the Falcons.
I was just noticing that, and I was like, I know Drake gonna say he gonna
Falcons might bounce back.
They got Atlanta favored by 2 right now.
Yep.
And it's in Atlanta. Yeah, they playing in Atlanta. I think that's gonna be that now. If there's a game to make CJ Stroud look normal, as a rookie,
Like
this is actually a game because Jesse Bates is out there catching passes. He out there intercepting balls. So
he licking his chops for sure.
Yeah, he should be in Hamilton County, but they ain't want to pay him.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. So I think that one's going to be more interesting. And I actually think the Falcons might be able to pull that off too.
Yeah, that run game.
Yeah, the run game. Bijan Robinson is that real? Like,
And Algier, they got two of them.
Yeah,
they had a rookie last year,
right? But I'm still waiting for somebody to put 2-hand touch on Bijan Robinson. Some of his cuts is unreal, dog. Like,
and they don't even use pits.
They don't use them at all. Like, and I don't understand. I
don't
need
understand. A quarterback that can throw.
They ain't even trying though. Like they throwing it to the other tight end, I'm just saying, it is what it is, man. Some teams are the way they are because of who they are.
Quick question, because this is going to be some interest. There's going to be some interest here, real quick. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. Does Pittsburgh even stand a chance against Baltimore at home?
Yes. Division game.
I know. That's why
you got to throw everything out the window because Minka and Watt can make the game, can ruin Baltimore season.
Let me just say this, and I'm not predicting, I'm not wishing this or whatever. This is why the AFC North is so tricky. This the kind of game where somebody get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is just a very physical. Like
it's just like every time Cincinnati plays in Cleveland, somebody get hurt.
This is just, this is a physical season.
This one of them where it's like
the hits come in the Steelers versus the Ravens game.
They just need to flip a coin and let whoever win, but let's get out of here without no injuries.
Right.
But
they smack in that game.
But until Pittsburgh, shows me that they want to actually play football every week, I got to think the Ravens is going to be able to do this. Now, historically, we talk 17-13. That's the score. You can mix that up however you want to.
Regardless of who's playing quarterback for Pittsburgh.
Right. You can put it in a Yahtzee ball and just throw it on tape. It's still going to come out 17-13 every time. So it's going to be within that range. So, that is what it is. I do want to see it, obviously, because I play defense. I like seeing people get laid out. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what Kenny Pickens is going to look like. He's battling his injury with the knee. Mm-hmm. If he's not mobile, that's where it can get kind of because Mitch got to come in and Mitch
can move though.
Mitch, I'm saying that's what they're gonna need him to do, but it's like you need Mitch's mobility and Kenny Pickett's arm in somebody else's head because I don't think none of their quarterbacks is really that bright right now.
They got rid of Rudolph, right? Or is
No.
he there still?
I don't.
He's still there.
Oh, is he?
I thought so.
I know Mitch came into the game last week. Is all I know.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about Rudolph is he's willing to stay for cheap. I thought.
He done made all the money. He ain't got to take no hits. It's the greatest job in the world if that's the case.
You ain't never gonna play again. You know the offense. So what's up?
So yeah, and then the other game I'm looking forward to, got to go down, or from where I am up I-65, Louisville versus Notre Dame this week. That's going to be kind of along the lines of our Super Bowl. The Cardinals are undefeated. Oh, I forgot to give me another game that surprised me was Kentucky. I never give Kentucky props on anything just because I am from Louisville. But they smacked Florida.
Yeah.
They smacked 329.
Yeah.
But 329 to 69 on rushing yards. I forgot to mention that.
They did what they were supposed to do.
I meant to mention that.
I was looking
pettiness wouldn't let me do it, but
I was looking at UK schedule. If they run the table, they got to be number one going into the playoff. If they run the table,
right?
Their schedule is tough.
Yeah,
they play Bama and Georgia,
and then you still follow it. They also got Tennessee on the East, so they got
the demise of the Crimson Tide is
been greatly exaggerated. Yeah,
Milroe, man.
He's starting to look decent, but that's so that's the game I'm looking forward to most this weekend is the Louisville Notre Dame game, just because the Cards are looking good, undefeated, and Notre Dame is beatable. Just based on what they put on tape the last couple weeks, Notre Dame is definitely beatable, and they got to come to I forget what the hell our field is called, but I'm calling it Cardinal Stadium because I refuse to use that other man's name. I think it's Ellen Infield or something like that. It's named after a railroad now. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. We already gave our gambling advice on this one, so I think we good. Y'all got any more y'all want to throw out there?
I do. I got one more thing I want to say. I want to shout out all the quarterbacks that everybody said was trash that played well this weekend. Whether it be Zach Wilson, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields,
all them Wilsons,
Baker Mayfield.
He adopted Wilson.
Yeah, he is an adopted Wilson.
And we didn't touch that much on it, and I've been hard on him, especially since last year. Frankly, even the year before. It is time for us. It is official. Remember last week I was saying this about Sean Payton, whatever. It is time for us to officially take the lens, shift it. This is Denver is no longer a Russell Wilson problem.
And this weekend's going to highlight that because he wrote a big check.
Going right where I was going.
Him wrote big check this summer.
Yeah. And I have a feeling the Jets about to make him cash that thing. And I'm looking forward to it.
And because the Jets can stop you. They might not be able to score, but they can stop you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And since Andre went college, I'll say this. Keep your eye on North Carolina. Keep your eye on North Carolina. Not necessarily this week as they're playing against Syracuse. But just keep your eye on North Carolina. I honestly feel I have a kind of funny feeling that Mac Brown is giving his last hurrah. They're playing some good ball.
Well, he's got the number one pick in the draft at quarterback. Yeah. I mean, I know we want Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams is not 6'4".
Yeah.
He also isn't orthodox in his style. You gotta they're gonna choose orthodox.
They want pro style.
Over freelance anytime.
You look like Trey.
This ain't a knock on Caleb Williams. What do you know? But I'm saying when GMs, because I've been in the room, I know GMs are looking for traditional. Like, hey, I called a play and you ran the play that I called. Good job. I want you. Versus I called a play and you started freestyle. You still scored a touchdown, which is awesome. But
just because it worked don't mean it was right.
But lastly, because we never do this, but I got to do it on this episode. So for those who watch our regular podcast, non-sports related, we always do an APB section.
Mm.
And I actually have an APB. I didn't think it was going to creep into sports, but I have one, and it's absolutely necessary. So for those who don't know, the APB is who we looking out for. What item caught our attention that needs more attention, or things like that. So what I am looking for this week is for Black media, reporters, all of them, to get together, walk up to Trent Dilfer and give him that smoke about why he decided to berate one of his assistants on the field like that. He has gotten a pass. Like when I'm reading the articles about it, they just like, yeah, he had a blow up in Nashville, and and then he was upset this week. No,
he's getting the pass because I think he lost his child.
Hey,
then you need to take a few weeks of bereavement. You need to go take some mental health days or something. You don't get to allow your lack of professionalism to boil over to that point.
I don't think that's ever been allowed an excuse for anyone.
Right. But I'm just exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you have as much goodwill as he's built up, according to a lot of people, and the way he's like he gets coddled a lot. He always has, frankly, in my opinion.
He kind of reminds me of Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
No, not Steve Sarkisian. I'm sorry, Sean Salisbury.
Oh well,
y'all remember Sean Salisbury?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but both of them, Sark ain't far off.
I was getting ready to say both of them track.
I
know where you were going with the Salisbury thing. Yeah,
but Salisbury is one of those dudes where we respected him, but he was a bit of a hothead, and it got him in trouble.
Just a bit, just a pinch.
It got him in trouble.
But for those who haven't seen it, you can go on YouTube and look at him.
It's bad.
It was so bad that they couldn't even play it on television because there wasn't, like, it would have just been beeps and everything. It wouldn't have been anything they could use.
Yeah, they have audio of it. Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely audio of it.
Why this man even on your staff if you feel like that?
Or that you're gonna treat him like that. Like that's
right.
Like nobody wants a penalty. I get it. But there's definitely ways to go about it. And what he did, like, it's the textbook definition of bullying, because that coach can't do anything back. Because if I do what I really want to do and foul on you, I'm never going to coach again.
And here's the thing. I'll give you an example. Nick Saban has given the blueprint on how to go off on your staff without going off on your staff.
Oh, he showed up Lane Kiffin.
But here's my point.
He straight showed him up.
But he knows that Lane Kiffin, it's almost like it's okay.
Because it was Lane Kiffin and people don't like Lane Kiffin. You could treat him like crap. That ain't cool.
That's another bully too. Like,
I'm not saying it's cool. What I'm saying is there's a way to, my point is there's a way to be a bully. And clearly, your
boy Todd Haley. Is he in football now? Haley?
Right.
He might be in the Canadian League.
I think he's doing your league, Andre, the one you was talking about.
The XFL?
He's doing the XFL, yeah.
Okay, but
Birmingham or something.
Is doing that because of that problem.
That's exactly right.
He don't know how to talk to grown men.
Yep. That's it.
But to go off on your a member of your staff that you selected,
you picked
to be a part of your staff. Yeah, you picked him.
Yep.
And to leave him in a position where he got to face losing a job or never coaching again, because what he should have did was took off the headset and smacked the shit out of him.
Well, that's why certain people get those jobs and certain people don't.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
He probably selected that young man because he knew he could talk to him like that and treat him like that, because he has a history of treating him like that and him just taking it.
And that's some sucker shit. Like that. That is.
But that's how a lot of staffs are made.
But I need the media. Like I'm over like them giving a pass. Like the media need.
You're saying black media. I need all media to be consistent, though.
I do need all media, but if ain't nobody else gonna hold him to the fire, I need black media to show up on his doorstep and be like, "So why did you berate this black?"
To your point, Andre, I have not heard it. I've only heard it on one I think it was a spot on. Was it FS1? I think somebody was talking about it on the morning, but I haven't really heard it like now.
Like first take
like
kind
you
of
said, Paul, they really couldn't run it without all the.
Yeah, they
You know,
touched on it, but
yeah,
it was
first
like,
take said, "Oh, it wasn't cool," and they would just kind of move like, "No,
Right.
I need answers. Like I don't need you to cover it just
what
for
the
a brief
university have to say.
There you go.
I haven't heard.
They.
I don't think they've released an official statement. Like, was there an investigation? Was he reprimanded? Like,
It just
because
went like they just treated like shit didn't happen. Like, yeah, like, and that's my thing where I'm like, yo, I'm going in filing an official complaint. It's just my dude's like his options are very, very limited.
What if he's offered your kid? It's October. What if he offered your kid? Your kid's a senior.
He's like Colorado looking real nice all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, but if you're dealing with UAB, you're not. I mean, Colorado's not an option, probably, right?
No, maybe somebody who lied, but he a top
I'm just
player.
Yeah, I mean, you probably thinking,
Alabama, and he don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
Maybe Colorado.
Georgia State's taking
maybe Troy or
right.
Jackson or some of these other schools on that level.
Yeah, I've heard Louisville was nice this time of year.
Louisville, UAB and Louisville ain't in the same class.
I'm messing with you, man.
I was gonna let somebody else say it because
I just left.
I was trying to. I was gonna grip my teeth through it.
Middle Tennessee State, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
right.
Hey, Middle Tennessee State been playing some ball last few years though. Quiet as kept.
But all that to say, that's what I've been looking out for. Because what he did was completely unacceptable. And if ain't nobody else gonna say nothing, y'all know we gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hut.
Well, that's a wrap. Thanks again for joining us on our weekly wrap-up show. Week 5 is upon us, so have fun with all the games, both college and pros. Once again, be responsible out there. And as always, remember that absolutely none of our comments regarding gambling are to be considered advice for you to follow. And if you do have a gambling problem, we sincerely mean it. We want you to go seek help.
Mm-hmm.
However, that help is not available here, so please find somewhere else to go get it.
Got it.
And with that, we want to thank you for joining us. Feel free, as always, to leave us comments. Give us your feedback. If you got questions, anything you want us to answer, you got any hot takes you want us to address, we want to thank each and every one of you for following us on all of our platforms. We look forward to wrapping it up with you once again and getting ready for week 6. Peace.
Peace.